Go ahead and knock that out.
I will now perform an in-cab inspection. First, oh wait, start over.
Start over.
Ready? I will now perform an in-cab inspection. First, I will inspect my seatbelt. Properly mounted and secured, not ripped or frayed. It adjusts and latches properly. I have 3 items of emergency equipment. My fire extinguisher is located behind the driver's seat. It's properly mounted and secured, fully charged. 3 red reflective triangles are located under my bunk. My spare electrical fuses are located in the glove box. I will now perform a safe start for an automated transmission. First, I will make sure my parking brakes are engaged. My vehicle is in neutral. Place my foot on the service brake. I will turn the key to the on position, checking to make sure my ABS light goes on and off. And it did. Now I will start my vehicle. Okay. I will now check my gauges. My water temperature gauge is rising to normal operating range. My oil pressure gauge is rising to normal operating range. My voltmeter indicates that it is charging between 13 and 14 volts. My 2 air gauges are building to governor cut between 120 and 125 psi. My city horn works. My air horn works. My defroster is working. My heater is working. My lighting indicators. Left turn signal indicator. Right turn signal indicator. Bright light indicator. 4-way flasher indicator lights are all working. My windshield and mirrors, properly mounted and secured, not cracked or broken. They are clean and clear. There are no obstructions. My mirrors are in proper adjustment. My windshield wipers and washers, properly mounted and secured, not cracked, bent, or broken. They operate smoothly. The wiper blades are not worn, torn, or dry rotten. I will now perform my parking brake checks. First, I will check my trailer parking brake. I'll do that by releasing my tractor parking brake and tugging against my trailer. I felt a tug. Now I will check my tractor parking brake by releasing my trailer parking brake and tugging against my tractor. I felt a tug. It works. I will now perform my service brake check. I will do that by moving forward to 5 miles an hour, applying my service brake to come to a complete stop, checking to make sure I do not pull to the right or to the left. My vehicle did not pull to the left or to the right. I will now prepare to perform my air brake check. I will do that by engaging both of my parking brakes, putting my vehicle in neutral, leaving my vehicle running while I place my chocks.
Good.
Chocks. I will now release both of my parking brakes. While my engine is still running, I'm going to rebuild the air that I just lost by releasing my brakes. I will build it back to governor cut. Okay, I now have sufficient air to perform an air brake test. I will now begin by turning my vehicle to the off position. Then I will turn my key to the on position, powering my gauges, allowing them to sweep and stabilize. My gauges have stabilized. I will now begin stage 1, the applied pressure check. First, I will place my foot firmly down on the service brake and allow my gauges to stabilize a second time. My gauges have stabilized a second time. Mr. Examiner, I will ask you to time me for 1 minute. In that 1 minute, I will be watching my gauges, ensuring I do not lose more than 4 psi in that minute, and I will be listening for air leaks. Can you time me now, please? Important when you guys are doing this that you continue to look at your gauges. Don't allow yourself to get distracted and start looking at things outside, because he will be watching you to make sure you are watching your gauges. And you need to be listening for air leaks. That means you need to have your window down. You're the timer.
Just a minute.
You may begin.
Okay. All right, 1 minute has passed. I did not lose more than 4 psi, and I did not hear any air leaks. I will now begin stage 2, pump down to low air warning light and buzzer. I'm going to pump down on my service brake until my low air warning light and buzzer come on. This should activate at or before 60 psi. Now begin. My low air warning light and buzzer did activate at or before 60 psi. I will now begin stage 3. Pump down to protection valve parking brake pop out. This should occur between 40 and 20 psi. I will now begin. See these gaps? That means they both popped out. Both of my protection valve parking brakes popped out between 40 and 20 psi. This concludes my in-cab inspection. Here it is.
Excellent.